All right, guys. I just got this one in the mail a couple days ago, and I thought I would do a comparison since I got this one years ago. I don't know how old this one is, but by the way, I thought we'd do just a quick video. This is from 2016. Uh, do a quick video of comparing the local church Thinline that they've had out for years now to the church Bible publishers Thinline that they just released for 2021. So mainly, and the difference obviously the cover. This one is in iron calfskin, and I opted. You can get this one in iron calfskin too, but I opted for the lambskin because I really love their lambskin. It's very nice. It's kind of shiny. But here's your differences, in case you were wondering. This one's bigger. Uh, put them up side by side here. I know my lighting is not the best in the world, as you can see. This one's quite a bit wider. They're the same height. But the one from Church Bible Publishers is going to be wider, and the reason for that is because this one, you see the tiny, well, they're about, normal size margins you would expect to see in a Bible, but the Church Bible Publishers one, you got wide margins in the text there. And other than that, exactly the same. They advertise it as a 9-point font. And I think when they say 9-point font, they're talking about the drop caps. You see it has drop caps there. And I think the rest of the text is maybe an 8 or an 8.5, something like that. But this, around an 8. And I know because I did a review on this one years ago, and I know how many people comment and being like, oh, I have to pass on that one because the font's so small. And I understand, I wear glasses myself, but mainly my glasses are for to see far away, though, because I can't see far away. But they do help with close-up, too. But I don't have no problem reading it. I know older people with worse vision than me, they probably had problems reading this one. This one's a much better size for carrying around, and its text is just the text. There's no references, no notes or anything like that, just the text. And same, they just came out with their interleaved Bible a couple months ago. You remember I did a review for that, and it's the same exact text as their interleaved, except no margins or interleaved pages in between. But so yes, it's no self-pronouncing, which I love because I don't like self-pronouncing very much. It's just the plain text, and if you can read an 8 or 8.5, whatever, that's what you got. And you got the same thing here, except they added margins, and I love margins, so that's kind of what sold me on it. Was like, hey, it's got margins on it, but at the same time, you got my guess is that in order for them to keep it a mid-size, Bible, they have, every time they make a new Bible, it's either in their hand size, mid-size, or whatever format, and that's so that they can make all their covers the same size. So it's, if they have some covers over here and they're like, hey, we need, well, it wouldn't work for this, but if you got a mid-size turquoise that needs a cover, you can just go get a cover that will go on a mid-size Schofield. They're interchangeable. So I'm sure as far as the manufacturing process goes, that's why they do that, to keep it nice and simple and easy to keep their covers the right size. But this is a mid-size, whereas this one would not be a mid-size, even though this is two different people here. But I like this one, but this one is not, it's hard to read from if you're reading at the beginning. Let me move this one a minute. Like, say you're in Genesis here. oh, I want to read Genesis. Well, it's not going to lay flat. So that might be because it needs to be broke in. I haven't used it a whole ton, but I have tried to break it in some. But it's really good for reading. If you, like I said, if you can read that 8-point font or 8.5, whatever it is. Now this one, because it is a mid-size, it's a lot. It's going to be a lot easier for it to stay. Like it don't want to right now, because I've been reading, my Bible reading plan. I've been in Genesis, and you can kind of work it, and it'll stay open. And it don't want to, but you can make it. So I'm assuming, after this one gets some use behind it, it probably won't have no problem staying open in Genesis. And that's probably because of that extra, few, inches there of cover that it has that helps weigh it down. Whereas this one doesn't have that. But they're both good. This would be good for toting around. Plus, they're the same text block. So say here we are on page 69, which is Exodus 33 and 34. You could go to page 69 in here, and there you are on Exodus 33 and 34. So the main difference is the size. And you can get this one in lambskin, whereas you can't get this one in lambskin. But you can get them both in iron calfskin. So the main difference is going to be the margins and the width of the cover, which helps it lay flat. So I know people often comment on my review of this one and talk about, oh, the font's just too small. But if the font ain't too small for you, 8's kind of a regular size for most people. So if you wanted something that was easy to tote around, like maybe you're going out witnessing or street preaching or whatever, and you ain't got no problem reading the 8, 9, somewhere in between their font, this would be a good one for you to take out. Soul winning, street preaching, anything where you got to tote a Bible around, because it's nice and light and it's not very big. This one's nice and light too, and it ain't very big either. It's just a little wider. So that's basically the only difference between the two, is the width. Everything else, margins, no margins. This one's wide, this one's not wide. So that's essentially the only difference between the two. So if you are going to pick one up, just remember that the only difference is, how do I want a wide one with margins, or do I want this narrow one that I can tote around? So appreciate y'all coming and hanging out with me for a few minutes. I figured I might give this one away at some point. Not sure yet, but I figured while I got them both here, we'll go ahead and do a comparison. So hope that helped y'all. Till next time, take up your cross, carry on.